Adina and I found all this money at the thrift yesterday. Thank you, Donnie.
For perspective, here's how big Melinda is.
Hi.
And then there's our Cashmere, and then here's Toddy. She's like, hey, I got a toy if you guys want to play around with me a little bit. It was pretty crazy. We cleaned out Grand Rapids.
Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. My name is Melinda and this is my husband Adine. Yesterday we both hit the thrifts, we took separate cars, and we made out like bandits sourcing yesterday.
We did. As you know, we've switched to a all clothing and shoe model for resale moving forward. So that's all we looked at. I'm a little bit proud of myself. I didn't even peek at the hard goods. Did you? Did you peek? You peeked.
No, someone had like returned like a Miromatic like pressure cooker, and I was almost gonna be like, never sale again, but I didn't.
All right, awesome. It was great. Every single stop we went to, I think we spent over $900 for sure, if not more.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a full cart every single time.
Yeah, I actually had to check out before I even hit the men's because the first stop, I literally had, I couldn't manage, like I had, stuff was falling on the floor from my cart, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had to grab another cart and like re-situate everything. So I was like, oh, okay, I better go.
And there are a lot of, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but besides like the 3 or 4 pieces I picked up for myself, because I'm sure if you watch any of our videos, you'll see the same rotating 7 shirts that I own. So I'm updating my closet. Besides the 3 or 4 things I got for myself, all that I found are pieces that are 20, 25 plus shipping on top, minimum. So it's not like we filled up with a bunch of garbage. I mean, you didn't pick up like Old Navy or Walmart brands, right?
No.
Yeah, so that's the crazy part. Like we found really, really good stuff, like a ton of good stuff. So in this video, what we'll do is show you 10 each, because there's no way, like, look at this.
Yeah.
There's no way we can show you all of that. It will take us.
Right, we're gonna manage our time. So
yeah,
obviously I don't think you want to sit here for an hour watching us hold up what we bought.
Even if you do, we're not doing it. It's just too, it will be too long.
Yeah, we have to split this up quite a bit.
Yeah, so we'll do 10 each, and then for whatever reason we decide if it's cool or a bolo, you know, be on the lookout for, or whatever reason we decide to educate you, to share. It's exciting, it's cool.
Right.
We'll do that next. First we have to get this thing organized, so we're gonna do that real quick, and we'll see you in a moment.
We've got everything into our eBay room. We spent about $1,000 yesterday, give or take a little bit, and it all fits in here. It's one of the reasons we're really loving this model. Between the shelves over there, hanging stuff up, utilizing above for pants before we hang them, it all fits, and that is awesome. It's been a great use of space. We don't feel crowded. As you can tell, there's still a lot of room to work. These shoes we just have out so we can show you a little bit, but we're gonna move them up under there. Really, really great so far. It's been very refreshing coming in and having a dedicated workspace for this stuff. That said, I'm gonna start with my first 5. I ran into a lot of flannels yesterday. As you can tell, I have like a whole section of them right here. One brand that I looked up because I wasn't familiar with is this Anchorage Expedition brand. It's nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary, but it's a really great bread and butter piece. So I'll probably list this flannel for between 25 and 30 plus ship with offers on. These are 2 for 1 because I picked them up for the same reason, which is not for brand. You guys know that I do this a lot. I pick up things based on material and style. So these are vintagey type sweaters, and they're both a wool Angora hair blend. So those are what I'm going to put in the title, obviously along with everything else, but they're also like looser kind of capey cardigans. So comfortable, soft, kind of timeless pieces is why I picked these up. At the first Goodwill I was at, I was sort of going through racks and not finding anything, but this sweater sort of set off this whole chain of finding a lot of sweaters. I filled a cart full of women's sweaters at this Goodwill after finding this. This is a Madewell piece, and it's a great piece not only just because it's Madewell, but because of this chunky knit style and the Fair Isle pattern to it. This will sell very fast for us. I think it'll sell within a few days, maybe a week at most.
Here's a Madewell logo. It's just the spell out of Madewell. Just wanted to show you guys that if you've not heard of that brand. It's a fantastic brand.
I'll also probably wear it and then it will sell, because that's what I've done with Madewell. I'll like wear it somewhere and then it literally sells while I'm wearing it. So just gonna put that on later tonight while I'm listing it. So there you go. One of my favorite brands, Ralph Lauren. This is very shrunk. So this was originally a 2X. I don't normally pick up shrunken wool because when you see it at the store, and I saw one yesterday, J. Crew 100% lamb's wool, it was like itty bitty, like made for a baby. But because it started off so large, this is still probably a size small, maybe an extra small, and it's 100% lamb's wool with this awesome hit right on the front. That's why I picked it up. Be very careful when doing that though. I mean, you can always look at a sweater and tell if it's shrunk. So there wasn't any like major pulling on the design or anywhere on the fabric still. Well, I'm talking about Ralph. This one, this is probably one of my favorite ones. I really love finding these older pieces with the crest on them. The crests are just Italian kiss. They do so well, and it's got the gold bold buttons, nothing, no crazy flaws or anything, no shoulder pads, just all around great style from this brand.
What do you think it's worth?
I'm gonna list this one 45 plus ship.
Nice.
At least, depending on what specific comps show me.
Yeah, I've researched some of these in the past. My mom sold one of hers with these gold buttons, and they actually sell the replacement buttons because of the value of them. It's kind of a neat piece.
Yeah, so that one was missing a button, and that I think we sold for $100. So this might be higher than 45.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
conservatively, that's what I'm going to say.
Sure. The first one I want to show you, I'm showing you because I've learned something. I think one of the things that we as resellers need to do is remember that we don't know everything. So as we're transitioning into this clothing only, shoes and clothing only, we're kind of re-looking at some of the things that we would have just passed in the past, or passed on in the past, because we're like, well, it's just that brand and doesn't sell good. So these were pretty unique, and I actually found two of them. This is an American Eagle brand, but they're like khaki joggers, and they do pretty well, anywhere from 25 to 35 bucks. Plus shipping. They do have the little, stretchy material at the bottom, and they do have the drawstring. And I was surprised, and I initially passed on them, and then I was like, what am I doing? Why wouldn't I just look these up? It's going to take me a minute. And sure enough, I found roughly 50 bucks in profit off of two pair. This is, I was just really happy to find this because I know Melinda really likes it, and it is really a great brand. This is Madewell. This is a men's like super crisp pant. They do have this little logo on them that says Fair Trade Certified Factory, which is pretty awesome. They're the perfect vintage jean. Like I said, great brand, super quality material, super crisp. Maybe somebody wore these once and then donated them, so lucky us. Not sure what they're worth. Minimum 25 plus ship, could be up to 50 plus ship. So it's in that range. I'm just not sure, and I really don't want to look it up right now.
I'll wear those later with the sweater.
There you go. A lot of the stuff up here too, just so you guys know, like a lot of this is Express, which is a good brand for us. Silver Jeans, Wrangler, that's most of what this is. So we don't want to bore you with like the common stuff, the bread and butter 20, 25 plus pieces. But this one I thought was cool, so I wanted to show it. It's Eddie Bauer. I'm pretty sure this is a vintage Eddie Bauer tag. I say that because I think older vintage style tags just generally have more detail in them, and they're like a little bit more quality. Most modern clothing now is just screen printed. The tag is screen printed in the back because it's cheaper than to actually like sew one on there. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure, let's see. No, they're made in Taiwan, but they're a huge size. Should get about 20, 30 plus ship. They're like a high-key type, super nylon material. And again, I looked it up because I thought they were unique enough to investigate, and sure enough, it's a pretty good pickup. This one is a bit of a surprise, I thought. It's Brooks Brothers. We typically in the past have passed on Brooks Brothers stuff, but this is Brooks Brothers 100% merino wool. And when I looked it up, it had a really good sell-through rate, meaning that there's a lot more demand than there is supply on used versions. Really nice checkered, type look. What I've learned, or what I've tried to learn from Melinda, is to make sure that I'm looking up the actual material tag to see what it's made out of, and that's why I picked up the next stuff I'm about to show you. By the way, that piece should go for about 30 to 50 plus shipping on top, which is kind of crazy for a used sweater. And Melinda did a 2-for-1. I'm going to do a 3-for-1 because somebody was, I think, got an allergy to cashmere. Horrible dad joke. These all three are 100% cashmere. Now the first one is pretty sweet. It's J. Crew. It's a hoodie cashmere. Always look up cashmere. Honestly, doesn't matter what the brand is, it still sells really well. There are some people that actually buy damaged or ripped apart cashmere for arts and crafts. So even if it's stained, look it up because you can make a pile of it and sell it by pound or by weight. This one is Land's End. Again, Land's End is a pretty good brand overall. When you're buying at retail, or at least a lot of people presume that it's a pretty good brand, but because it's cashmere, I picked it up. And then another J. Crew, nice size, 100% cashmere. And again, J. Crew, if you're not familiar, if it does not have the 2 dots underneath it, this is from the actual store, and those usually have a little bit more value. I learned that from my wife. Thanks, Melinda.
This next one is a mall brand, which we used to never pick up, but I have been learning from Hustle at Home on that this particular brand is having a little bit of a comeback. When I was in grade school, if you didn't wear this brand, you weren't cool. I was not cool because
I was
it was
poor.
considered like really expensive.
So obviously I wasn't cool either.
So yeah. So this is Abercrombie and Fitch, and I wouldn't just run out and buy all the Abercrombie I see, which had I known when I was 13 I could find some Abercrombie at the Thrift, I would have been a lot cooler, I think, but we can't go back. We can only go forward.
Hey, you're cool now.
I'm so cool. I'm so cool. This style is just something that I would pick up probably, not necessarily regardless of brand, but it's like chunky knit and it's got this cowl neck. It's a men's, so I think that'll sell pretty quickly. And I was actually very surprised at the comps. Like there are some selling in this style for like 50 to 75. Which I don't know what I'm going to list this for yet, but I was shocked.
Yeah, the nice thing too is it's a double XL. Do you want to talk a little bit about our strategy when we're starting to sort through clothing as far as sizing?
So what we do, and what I've done for a long time, is I start with the bigger sizes and then I work my way back. The reason for that is if another reseller, somebody else comes, you want to make sure you're getting the best picks first. And just based on body sizes, more people are going to buy the bigger sizes than the really small ones. I don't even usually even check extra smalls or zeros or 2s anymore. They tend to sit for a long time. There's not a lot of people looking for your specific piece of clothing that are that small. I guess to roll on top of that, this is a vintage Gap. Again, style, it's this cable knit is really in, and then these have these, I always call them grandpa buttons, so like grandpa style cardigan. If you are putting that in your title, if it's a men's, you just use the word grandpa. I put it in there all the time. They usually sell really fast. We just sold our last pair of men's Hudson jeans last night, and I found a pair to replace them. Women's Hudson jeans, very, very hit or miss these days. Used to be very in, very careful with it now. Men's Hudson jeans, especially with these button flies, they sell very well for us and usually very quickly. I think we only hang on to them for like a couple weeks at the most. The ones that sold for us sold for $35 plus shipping, and for jeans, the shipping is about $8.75, so that's about a $45 jean sale. So these are a really good example of how you'll kind of get to know materials. This piece is a vintage Pendleton, which I picked up because it's a Pendleton, 100% wool. Every time we get one of these vintage Pendletons, we list them for around the $50 mark plus shipping, and they generally sell within a week or two of listing them. This one was in the same area. I did not know this brand, but based on the detail of the buttons and the feel of the sweater, I looked it up. Great sell-through rate, and I might actually list this higher than what I'm listing the Pendleton for. So great reminder, if it looks quality, look it up. It might be better than what brands you're used to seeing. It's another Ralph Lauren.
But it's so little.
It's so cute. This was on a new rack, but I kind of got there late. I think these were picked over. And I said, you know, what the heck? I'm going to look it up, even though it's a kid's. Very surprised at what these go for in the resale market. I saw some bubble, like Ralph Lauren bubble jackets for children selling for like $100. I was like, what? I don't think I'm going to list that one this high, and we're actually, I think, going to keep it until next winter because Jess is going to be about this size probably. And then we'll list it probably closer to like 50 plus ship.
We're going to hop over to some shoes and boots we found. First one's these Bushmasters Thin Suede boots. I don't know what they're going to go for roughly, but I know minimum 30, maybe up to 60 plus shipping. These are the dirtiest pair we found, so they just need a little bit of cleanup. I paid up for these. These were $12, and Melinda also found a pair of Bushmasters. So really nice pair. I mean, obviously, you know, bigger size hunting stuff is going to do really well. If you are not aware, New Balance walking shoes do really well for us, especially if you can find extra wide ones. So for example, these are with 4E size 14. These will do pretty well for us. We've sold a lot of 4E wide shoes, especially these bigger sizes. This black leather model, they'll go anywhere from 40 to 60 bucks plus shipping on top. So definitely don't shy away from extra wide stuff. And the most expensive boots that I picked up are these Cabela's. I paid 15 bucks for them, but look at the condition. This literally may be worn once. Like somebody was like, I'll try hunting, and then they're like, I don't want to sit in the cold. But they're like brand new condition, so I was happy to pay up for them. They should fetch around 50 bucks plus shipping. I think they go, you know, anywhere from like $150, $180 new. So someone's gonna get a really good deal, and we're gonna make a solid profit on it. This is a brand new brand that I've never heard of. It's Baffin. I noticed the half of the maple leaf, the Canadian maple leaf here, so I knew my Canadian brothers and sisters, you know, they make some good quality stuff there. Great condition. When I looked up comps for these, again, I wasn't sure, so I put them in the cart, looked up comps, you know, while I was sorting through. Anywhere from $50 up to $100 is what these will fetch, and in this condition, I'm going to list these for about 100 plus shipping. Not bad for $7, or I'm sorry, $9 that I paid for them. I was also told by a Instagram friend that they make outerwear like jackets, and their jackets retail for roughly thousands of, you know, like $1,000. So look out for Baffin jackets and you know, general outerwear. Let's hop up here for one more clothing piece. How freaking cool is that? This is, you know, this is a modern print, obviously nothing crazy, but it's the right freaking shoe.
Adine loves The Office. He used to watch it every single morning on repeat, just over and over again.
What type of bear is best? Fact. Oh man. Yeah, anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. It's probably not worth much, maybe like 15 plus ship. But hey, it's cool.
So overall, we picked up so much good stuff, so many good vintage sweaters, some modern styles. With hauls this size, please let us know in the comments, would you prefer us to do longer videos or 2 videos? I mean, we didn't even cover half, obviously, didn't even scratch the surface. So if you've made it this far, other brands include Cabela's, Duluth, Torrid, Vineyard Vines,
the North Face.
The North Face we picked up, some hiking pants and outerwear.
Why don't we just show you a couple of cool ones? So like,
Yeah.
This is a surprise. If you want to hold this one up, West Coast choppers. Like I had no idea. This is just a simple graphic tee. If you want to flip it around, but these go anywhere from like 20 to 50 bucks used, which is kind of crazy. It is the authentic Jesse, you know, whatever Jesse Who brand on there. So that one was pretty cool. And I did find this vintage USA made JanSport. It's just a little hit in the front. This is more like you know, this is cool kind of clothing, nothing too crazy. I don't know what it's worth, but JanSport vintage stuff does pretty well, especially their backpacks.
Yeah. Bonus, I found a Woolrich cardigan. This was something I picked up based on material and style. It's a man's wool overcoat. These are selling for like $100. Nike joggers. These, if you guys see these at the thrift, you cannot lose on these. These sell so fast. We always sell out of them as soon as we get them. J. Crew. I mean, it just goes on and on. There's so many. North Face.
Yeah, there's some really nice North Face ones. Like the ones with the bigger hits definitely do a lot better. I found one that I was that's a nice one because it has like that camo on the bottom.
Side venting.
Do you mind holding this one?
Oh, I would love to.
And then this one, I was actually like, man, maybe it's a fake, but it actually turns out that it's like Sherpa lined, but it's reversible. With these reversible pieces, make sure you check the pockets. That's where the tag is. Yeah. And then when we talk about vintage sweaters, one thing we want to highlight is that we're typically looking for made in USA or made in Hong Kong. Here's an example of a mall brand. It's not, you know, a great seller in general, but it's 100% Shetland wool, made in Hong Kong, and it's a super cool print. So a lot of these vintage sweaters tend to have a really nice pattern to them. Found some hunting clothes, some golf, some Callaway stuff.
Nice vineyard vines right there.
Yeah, nice vineyard vines. And then this is a Sublime vintagey hoodie sweater.
I had a vintage Michigan sweatshirt.
That's a nice one.
1997 Champs.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's hunting stuff.
Of sweaters and shirts.
Yeah, stacks and stacks over here as well.
Wear and more Vineyard Vines and
Vineyard Vines, great brand to look out for. And then
more Ralph Lauren, more everything.
Yeah, I mean, look at the pile. I think there's like 60 pairs of pants and jeans up here. There's like 3 or 4 brand new with tags. PacSun is one. I mean, there's just a lot. So anyways, if you guys want a long format haul video next time, we counted 236 pieces here.
Yes, so that's almost a whole week's worth of inventory in one day. That's awesome. That is so great.
What she means by that is that our goal is to do 40 a day. So
236 divided by 40 is about 6.
Yeah.
About 6 days.
Yeah. All right. I'll just come down here for this one. Cool. Wow, what a height difference. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate you. Hopefully you learned something, or at least smiled a little bit, because smiling is better than frowning.
Yes, and since this is like a beginning of a whole new chapter, really give us some comments. Let us know, what do the people want?
What do you want from us? What do you want? Yeah, you. What do you want?
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna get to work. We got a lot to list. We got a lot of photographs. So
what do you want?
We'll see you on the next one.
What do you want?
Take
what do
care,
you want
everybody.
from us? Bye. Thanks.